What is the EMA line? What's going on, guys? It's Justin from Push and Profit. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day today. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the EMA line, or otherwise known as the exponential moving average. I'm going to be talking about how I set it up, how I interpret it, and what I use it for exactly. Now keep in mind that just because I use it a particular way doesn't mean that you guys have to use it, the same way as I do. You guys don't have to, 100% copy me. There are other ways that people interpret the EMA line, but I'm going to be showing you guys the strategy that I use when it comes to day trading and swing trading and how I look at that. Now, before we hop into my computer screen, if you guys could just hit that like button, it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. It helps, YouTube push this out to, more people to watch, and therefore, more people get to, get more help. Now, also keep in mind that this video is going to be part of a playlist that I have on YouTube called Trading Strategies or something like that, where I just have multiple videos on just different indicators, different trading strategies. So if you guys are interested, definitely subscribe to the channel and check out that playlist, because I have a lot of great content and I'm gonna keep uploading great content. Of course, I'm just gonna keep uploading strategies, different things, what I've learned. So with that being said, let's go ahead and not waste any more time and hop into my computer screen. Alrighty, so now we are officially in my computer screen. So for the example that we're going to look at first, we're looking at ticker symbol QQQ. Now this is the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform before anyone asks. And yes, I do have my candles set up as white and red. Typically, most people who trade, they have the candles as default as green and red. You could really change the colors on TD Ameritrade to whatever you prefer. And I choose it to white, or I changed it to white just because it makes things like more easily or more visually appealing for me. But that's just a personal preference, has nothing to do with the video. But let's move forward. So now this blue line right here, that is the EMA line, otherwise known as the exponential moving average. Now, how do you add this to TD Ameritrade? Simply go to studies, hit edit studies, and you would type in you could type in exponential, and it would come up, right? So it says moving average exponential. Let's go ahead and click this little question mark just to give you like a quick debrief of what the definition that TD Ameritrade gives. So the exponential moving average, EMA, is a type of moving average that assigns greater weight to the most recent price data. Unlike the simple moving average, where all data points have the same weight, EMA weighting factors to the price data decreasing exponentially. So basically it's a moving average, right? Now there's another moving average called the SMA, which is a simple moving average. Now this one varies slightly different from that one because this is more based on what's happening right now, right? Also, real quick, let me just go back. You could also see that I have it as default as 9. You could actually change that, and you could put this to 30, or you could put whatever number. You could put it to lower, right? And I'm going to talk about why I just keep it at default, but like what happens as you change it. And of course you could change the color, but let's just leave it as blue to make things easy, right? Okay, apply. Cool, we already had it on. Now, how I use the EMA line and how I actually use this indicator to make trades is I use it to see what direction the overall price is going, right? Now, of course, you don't want to base any trade based off of just one indicator. You don't want to solely do that because, sometimes indicators can show you an image of what's going on, and that might not always be the case, which is why, I use a mixture of other indicators. You could check out other videos I have on other indicators that I use, as well as price action, right? I use just a mixture because of course I want the odds in my favor when I'm trading, right? I want to make sure that everything or as many things meet my criteria for me to enter a position and exit a position, right? Because it's all about, getting in and out at the right time. So if you guys can notice, we're looking at the 1 day, 1 minute chart. So we're looking at like what's going on every single minute for the day. You could see that when the candles go above the EMA line, it typically has an upward direction, right? So you could see like in the beginning of the day, the candles fell below the EMA line, had a mini pop, but ended up falling below and just continued falling down, right? All the way till it hit this low of the day. Now, this low probably was a support somewhere along the line in the past. So I'm just going to quickly check real quick. Might have been like a older support line or resistance. And you could kind of see it might have been like a support from this area or resistance from this area, but that's really not the case in this video. I'm not going to go into supports and resistances. I have another video on that, but it did hit this low, and then it ended up kind of coming back up, then going above the EMA line, kind of only making slightly like literally 1/10 of a percent. And so it fell back down, had a little pullback, and then eventually, hovered above the EMA line, and then had this strong candle right here, just continue pushing it up. By the way, this is like a 3-bar play right here when you have an uptrend, then a red candle, then another uptrend, but that's for a different video anyways. So anyways, it continued going up. It was above the EMA line, hit this peak over here, which honestly was kind of like a resistance level from the pre-market or support level. You could see that in the pre-market. Let me just draw a line real quick. All right, cool. I just like drawing that out so you guys could kind of see things better. So you could see that in the pre-market, before the market actually opened, this was a support, and then it broke below it. So yeah, naturally when it came to this, it ended up acting as a resistance that wasn't able to break. Started coming down, big red candles, went below the EMA line. So then you're like, okay, what's going to continue happening? Is it going to continue selling off? So we kind of wait. Then we saw that it went back above the EMA line, continued going forward, hit this area right here, right? Another resistance. And then let me just draw another line real quick. So you can see that around here was obviously a resistance in the pre-market as well. So it hit this area, couldn't break above it, started falling down. Then went again below the EMA line, which was like almost 0.5% down. And then eventually just had some strong buying volume around this area, and things went up, and then it went above the EMA line again, breaking this resistance, continue going up, and then it almost looked like it had a little pullback around here, but then it broke again that resistance, continued going up, and you could see right here, the farther it is away from the EMA line, something that I noticed is like the stronger the direction is going to be. So if you see like a big gap over here, it's most likely going to keep pushing forward, and as it gets tighter, that's when things kind of like might end up changing direction. As you can see in this area, big gap, it keeps going up, it gets tighter, right, starts falling down, and now it's like on the opposite, it reverses the trend. So going back into it, I'm not sure where. Okay, I was around this area. So it hovered around it, kind of broke below it, and right here, it just for some reason found a support. This could have been a support from like literally yesterday. I'm not too 100% sure if that was just a support from another day or what it was, but it ended up just hovering around this area, not really breaking below, and then again having another uptrend. And you could see again it had it was going up. That big gap around this area just had it continue going up, and that was a uptrend about like 1/3%, a little bit more. Then it started getting tighter, hovering above it, switched trends, and today was honestly a very like wonky day in the stock market, right? I mean, these days happen where things just change rapidly. They're going up, down, up and down so many times throughout the day. So remember when I referred back to that number in the beginning? That really just means like how loose or how tight it's gonna go with the price action, right? Like the larger it is, the more looser it's gonna be. So to explain that, I'm gonna look at a larger time frame. We're gonna go look at like a 1 hour view, and I'm paper trading right now just to give you an example because the market's closed. So when you see it showing like that's paper trading, it's just because I just sometimes at night I paper trade a lot, right? So this is like the 1 hour view. So we could clearly see again the EMA line. It's showing like once it's above it, it's going up. Then when it gets tighter, it starts coming down. Right now, let's go ahead and see what happens when we make the EMA line a lot looser. Right. So let's change this from 90 to 30. You might see how it becomes more looser, and that's because I typically use a lower number when it's a day trade, because for intraday things are more volatile. They move more quickly, so I kind of want that number to be lower. But if you're swing trading, however, having it more loose or having the number higher might just help you out for your swing trades, because it doesn't really move as tight with the price, like as if it was a intraday. If it was a lower number, it'd be a little tighter, around these areas. But notice how it gets looser. So over here you could see, okay, it broke above this area right here, and it had that major gap, and it had this major uptrend, and this was a uptrend of approximately 4% in a day, right? So you could see how swing trading, it might work out when you have it as a longer time frame as opposed to when you have it at a smaller number, right? So let's go back to the default of 9. Go ahead and apply that. And then so yeah, I use that 9 because when you are doing intraday plays, it is more like responsive or more active. I would say is like a better term, right? Let's go ahead and have a look at how it looks with the 30 on a single day. So let's go ahead and change this to 30. Hit OK, apply, and notice how again it becomes way looser. So at this area you could see that it's not really active. So again, having it as a smaller number, it really works well for volatile stocks, but sometimes it's really up to you however you like to trade, what you like to trade. Different stocks require different things. Sometimes it's good to have two EMA lines and just look at both of them from different perspectives, right? So you could see, when it's like more looser, you kind of get a clearer sense that, okay, even though it touched right here, even though it fell down right here, with the looser EMA line, it still is hovering above it, versus when we had it tighter at this point, it was already below it, right? So with the looser one, it bounced off that area, kind of acting as a support, and then ended up going even higher, touching this resistance, going down, breaking below it, then coming back above it again, and having another strong uptrend. And yeah, so basically, how I use the EMA line is just really just to find the sense of the direction for where candles are going, right? And that's where I follow. Like once I see that things are going on an uptrend, that would be a good time to enter. For example, right here when it broke above it, it's like, okay, things are looking good. Let's go ahead and enter. And you could have made your money like that. And then of course, as it gets tighter, maybe that's when you want to take your profits. And then again, you could use this for a longer time frame. However, when it comes to looking at a longer time frame, I do prefer to use the SMA line, which is the simple moving average, where everything is weighted equally and it's not really based on what's happening right now, right? And I'll make a video talking about the SMA line soon as well. So hopefully this video explains how I use the exponential moving average. Hopefully explains how you guys could utilize it. For example, I already see another area right here where once it broke below this area, it started coming down. And then this day had some major buying candles. It went above it. And then for the past I don't know how many days this is, but for like maybe 2 weeks, it just continued uptrending until this major sell-off this day, right? So we could see that, if you were swing trading, that was a profit of 11%, which, is really pretty good for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, right? Because in 9 days you made 10% of whatever you were swing trading. So let's say you were trading with 100,000, in 9 days that could have been like 10,000 right there, which is pretty nice, right? But of course, whatever your position size is, that just be relative to like 10%. So again, hopefully this video helps. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'll make sure to try to respond to as many people as I possibly can. Also, feel free to join our free Facebook group. It's called the Push and Profit Facebook group. It's just a community of individuals who are interested in trading in the market, entrepreneurship, real estate. So I'll try to garner a little community of everyone who's kind of interested in the same goals. So consider joining that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, my name is Justin from Push and Profit. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day, and I'm out. Peace.